Ruth Langsford enjoys a girls' night out with Amanda Holden and Lucy Alexander in London. Ruth Langsford let her hair down on Saturday night as she enjoyed a girls' night out at the Britain's Got Talent semi-final at the Apollo Theatre in Hammersmith, London. The Loose Women star, 65, ditched her wedding ring for the night out after it was revealed that she has reportedly taken legal action to ensure her estranged husband, Eamonn Holmes, will not receive her share of their £3.6 million marital home. Ruth shared a glimpse into her glamorous night out on Instagram as she posed for photos in a stylish black blazer, which boasted a floral beaded collar. She layered the number over a fitted matching top and a pair of smart skinny trousers. The presenter elevated her frame in a pair of towering silver heels and toted her belongings in a matching clutch, all from her personalised QVC range. Ruth was in good spirits as she beamed for photos outside the theatre before heading into with her friend Lucy Alexander, who is best known as the host of Homes Under the Hammer. Also in tow for her fun night out was her son Jack, whom she shares with former husband Eamonn. Ruth later shared a video of her dancing and singing along in the audience to pop group Steps as they performed during the ITV show. She declared that she was loving life, and that the group's energetic show was fantastic. After the show, Ruth popped down to the judges' table to pose for photos with Amanda Holden and her new BFF, KSI. Last year, Ruth and Eamonn stunned fans when news broke in May that they had separated after 14 years of marriage and were heading for divorce. Following the split, Eamonn moved out of their 6-bedroom home in Weybridge, Surrey, which the couple bought in 2014. Now, in a fresh development, The Sun has reported that Ruth has been granted a severance of joint tenancy on the property. The publication said that public documents state that if Ruth were to pass away, her share of the house would not go to GB News host Eamonn. Sarah Dwight, of the Law Society, told the outlet, "One of the first things divorce lawyers do is to give their clients the option to sever the joint tenancy, so they can leave their share of the house to whoever they want. This move protects Ruth in that if she were to die, she can leave her wealth to whoever she wants, rather than Eamonn getting everything." Mail Online has contacted representatives for Ruth and Eamonn for comment. The news comes after Ruth finally ditched her wedding ring almost a year after announcing her split from Eamonn. The beloved TV presenter has resolutely kept her wedding and engagement rings on, even once declaring to a fan that she wouldn't remove them, "because I am still married." On a recent episode of her ITV show Loose Women though, Ruth revealed the rings were off. Eamonn has been wearing his ring since the split, despite striking up a romance with new girlfriend Katie Alexander, 43. The marriage counselor had been helping him through his split, but her friends say they only grew close once the marriage was over. Ruth meanwhile has been enjoying the single life, recently jetting off for a girls' getaway for her 65th birthday. Eamonn's new relationship appears to have hit a stumbling block though, as the Mail on Sunday has revealed that Katie is refusing to move in with Eamonn, who is 22 years her senior. She has decided to remain in her native Yorkshire, where she co-parents her 2 teenage children with her ex-husband. It means she won't be setting up home with GB News presenter Eamonn, 65, at his penthouse flat in Kingston, southwest London, where he settled after moving out of the home he shared with his ex-wife. GB News Eamonn Holmes' replacement, revealed, after his horror fall live on air. Last week, GB News presenter Eamonn Holmes suffered a grueling fall live on air which has left his future on the breakfast show in limbo. Eamonn Holmes' GB News replacement has been revealed, as TV bosses make plans for the future on their breakfast show after his horror fall live on air. Executives have reportedly been considering Good Morning Britain anchor Richard Madeley, 69, as a potential stand-in for the veteran broadcaster following a string of on-set incidents raised about Eamonn's health. The 65-year-old broadcaster, who uses a wheelchair due to his chronic back problems, was heard crashing to the floor live on air last week during an interview with political commentator Charlie Rowley. Although the moment wasn't seen on screen, viewers had a loud thud as co-host Ellie Costello gasped, "Oh my gosh." Eamonn could be heard off-camera reassuring his crew, insisting, "I'm fine, 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 carry on," but the show swiftly cut to an ad break. When the show returned to the airwaves after an extended break, Eamonn was seen back in his seat, joking, "I'm still alive," before blaming his fall on the dodgy studio chairs. But behind the scenes, his fall was much more worrying. According to the Daily Mail, it actually took the crew several minutes to get Eamonn upright again, and this isn't the first time this has happened. A source told the outlet, "He fell a few weeks ago too, just not during the broadcast. There's a pattern here, and everyone's concerned. Eamonn's still sharp as a tack and a joy to watch, but it's a serious production challenge now." Producers are sad to be drawing up a contingency plan, with Richard Madley's name, frequently mentioned, in talks. They added, "Nothing's confirmed, but they'd need someone with gravitas and live TV experience if Eamonn needs to step back." The incident comes just weeks after the dad of 4 was rushed to hospital following a fall at home, and days after he disappeared from the final 40 minutes of last week's show with no explanation. Viewers continue to rally around the presenter, who's been open about his health battles in recent years. He's previously spoken about his double hip replacement, spinal surgery, and a lack of feeling in his lower body. Last year, he admitted he can no longer walk or manage daily tasks without a supportive aid. A friend told the publication, "He's in constant pain. It's hard to watch. He loves his job, but something seems to happen every week. The team are doing their best, but it's becoming more difficult to manage." When approached for a comment, Eamonn Holmes' representatives reassured fans that he will continue to host on The Breakfast Show. Express.co.uk has reached out to GB News. Ruth Langsford's latest Eamonn Holmes blow as she makes decision on £3.6 million family home. Ruth Langsford, 65, has reportedly delivered instructions to her lawyers in relation to the 6-bedroom £3.6 million family home. Ruth Langsford has dealt another huge blow to estranged husband Eamonn Holmes, as she is not leaving any stone unturned in removing him from her life. It comes as the 65-year-old split from the GB News host in May last year. The Loose Women star is believed to have instructed her lawyers to ensure Eamonn has no access to their former £3.6 million family home. Ruth, who was married to Eamonn for 14 years, has been granted a severance of joint tenancy for the Surrey property, which was purchased back in 2014. This means that even if Ruth passes away, Eamonn will not be able to get his hands back on the property. Eamonn moved into a bachelor pad immediately after the split, before going public with his 43-year-old girlfriend Katie Alexander, the Mirror reports. Explaining the details of a severance of joint tenancy, Sarah Dwight of the Law Society told The Sun, "There are different ways to own a property. You can do so as joint tenants, which means it is 50-50 split. If one partner dies, the other automatically inherits the other's share." She added, "This applies even if one partner has left their share to children from a previous relationship, the other partner would still get it." She continued, "One of the first things divorce lawyers do is to give their clients the option to sever the joint tenancy, so they can leave their share of the house to whoever they want." Sarah then went on to say, "This move protects Ruth in that if she were to die, she can leave her wealth to whoever she wants, rather than Eamonn getting everything." Eamonn and Ruth first met back in 1997. The pair welcomed son Jack in 2002 before getting married 8 years later, with Eamonn already being a dad from his previous marriage. The duo were once seen as the golden icons of television, regularly fronting ITV's This Morning together, quickly becoming fan favorites for their seemingly playful on-screen bickering and banter. Despite their spats raising a few eyebrows from time to time, they were both quick to ensure that it came from a place of love. However, the nation was left shocked last year when they announced their split in a joint statement, revealing they had decided to call things quits. At the time, the joint statement simply read, "Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes have confirmed their marriage is over and they are in the process of divorcing." Speculation over their marriage started to mount in the weeks before their shock announcement, as they had not been pictured together in a while, or appeared on each other's social media pages. At the time, an insider told The Sun, "They are determined to stay friends and keep things amicable." Eamonn has since moved on and is currently dating Katie Alexander, 43. Representatives for both Eamonn and Ruth have been contacted for a comment. The representative for Eamonn has declined to comment.